Our session opens with Rothaga and his companions standing beside the smoldering remains of the once great dragon of Galida, Embrix. To defeat such a foe is beyond anything most could even dream. The fact that Rothaga could do it in a single blow defies all logic or reason. Something else had to be at play here.
Care to explain?
What? Embrix is gone, and we're all standing here in one piece. What does it matter how it was done?
What does it matter? Rothaga, look at yourself.
They each began to notice that the Rothaga they knew was not quite the Rothaga that now stands before them. They could see streaks of energy clawing up his neck, changing the very construct of his skin as it did so. It climbed just beneath his chin, but still, this seemed troubling.
Embrix was no mere dragon. Tales of his carnage extended centuries, and yet you somehow defeated him with a single blow? We deserve an answer before.
Elias's inquiry would have to wait.
Everyone move!
The ground beneath their feet began to tremble. A massive pit now laid before them. It wasn't very deep, about 100 yards or so in depth.
You guys wait here. I'll see if I can get a closer look.
Using her wild shape, Talia transformed into a bird and flew to the bottom to investigate further. In the meantime, Uma placed their massive hoard onto the ground and sat atop it to ensure that no wandering eyes would think twice about snatching up this prize.
What do you see, Talia?
Talia looked around the space with amazement. A massive painting was etched across the walls. The ancient paint lay cracked and faded, but the image was clear.
It's the shattering,
Talia said in a hushed tone. The prophecy of the shattering foretells of the end of the many kingdoms. It is foretold that the Titans will break free from their bonds and release their rage upon the realm of mortals. The realm will be consumed by flame as their rampage sweeps across the land like rolling thunder. The ground will quake, the oceans will heave, and the sky will break as the realm of the many kingdoms is reduced to ash and embers. As she attempted to grapple with this misplaced artwork, she soon realized another oddity. A statue, or at least the remains of one. The blast caused by Rothaga must have reduced it to rubble.
Who dares to enter my domain?
A booming voice called from the darkness. A massive shadow crawled up the walls. Talia braced and readied herself for combat. But all for naught. From behind the fallen rocks, a tiny blue tiefling emerged. He had been casting a shadow, it seems. Just kidding. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Who are you?
The tiny horned man walked behind the fallen rock once again, but somehow, in the blink of an eye, reappeared atop Uma's shoulders. The name's Galavant, the primordial of Galida. I can't thank you enough for getting me out of that infernal statue. After 10,000 years, I was starting to worry I'd never get out. Oh, and would you looky here? You are all traveling with quite a bit of treasures. Do you mind if I take a peek? Uma reached overhead, grasping the little man as her rage revealed itself.
Back off, Blue Man.
She said as she threw him with all her might. He stood to his feet unharmed, but still quite curious. Easy there, giant woman. I'm less interested in the gold and more interested in each of you. In a flash, he emerged once more, but at the bottom of the pit. This way, if you'd like your treasure back. Galavant was clearly trying to ruffle their feathers. Their treasure had vanished before them, and it seemed he had no intention of giving it back, at least not until he had his fun. But what was unclear was just how powerful this ancient being truly was. This question needed answering, but would need to wait. They climbed down into the pit and looked upon the first of Galavant's games. A door sat before them, but all that could be seen was a black void beyond its borders. Dwarvish letters carved into the molding read, I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. The entire realm is at your fingertips.
This must be a riddle of some sort. Galavant is clearly playing games.
Uma placed her hand into the void as she prepared to walk through, but was stunned to see her own fist return through the door back at her.
Hold on. It's a map.
As Rothaga said the word of Galavant's choosing, he passed through the door with ease. What awaited him on the other side was breathtaking. Each of them reacted the same as they too passed through the door. A truly massive ancient city encased in ice and snow. This city was grand in scale. It could have very well been part of the many kingdoms in its prime. For such a spectacular kingdom to just somehow vanish was astonishing. Grand mountains painted the sky before them as they looked upon the brilliant stone houses and shops built into the foundation. Whoever built this forgotten kingdom did so with great care and precision, as if constructed by the masterful hands of the dwarves themselves. Though brilliant, the question still remains: how could this forgotten kingdom simply up and vanish? Or worse still, why did it vanish? What were these people trying to hide?
We need to move carefully here. There's something off about this place.
As they walked through the abandoned snow-covered streets, they passed house after house, shop after shop, and still no sign of their treasure. But something far grander was beginning. A moment that would serve as the first step upon our heroes' future adventures.
Stop.
A voice shouted within Sylar's mind. As they rounded the corner to the town's center, they quickly saw why. Behold, the Titan Gates. The bridge between the realm of the many kingdoms and the land of Titans.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. The Titan Gates were closed centuries ago in Denestra. The fact that there's even one open here, I don't know what this means.
I know who to ask. I'll be back in a second.
Alondra reached into her bag and pulled out a mysterious blue leather-bound book. As she opened its pages, her eyes turned white and she stood motionless. To the unwitting, it would appear that she had been possessed. But within her mind, a truly remarkable conversation was taking place. This book is known as the Book of Everything. Within its pages, you enter an eternal space where books seem to stretch into a spaceless void of stars and wonders. Liam, the librarian, is this space's caretaker and can reveal to you all events that have transpired through history. Alondra needed his help. Oh, hello, Alondra. What can I help you with today, dear Paladin?
Liam, we're standing in front of the Titan Gates, but they're not where they're supposed to be. Worse yet, it's open. Liam, what the hell is going on?
Liam looked awestruck. What? That's impossible. The shattering was prevented 400 years ago. Unless they didn't stop the shattering. They began it. Alondra, wherever you are, get out of that place now. Alondra exited the book in an instant and looked to her friends.
We need to leave.
Sorry, Wanderers, that is not how this game works. But I do wish you luck. Have fun, he said as he snapped his fingers and vanished again. The mountains trembled and cracked as dozens of Remorhés poured out into the city, eager to claim their lives in their insect-like grasp. Uma roared as they sliced into her skin, slashing and scraping as they attacked. Even for juveniles, Remorhés are formidable and terrifying beasts. She gripped her axe tight, splintering the wooden hilt as her anger consumed her. She swung with all her might. It was hurt dearly, but still eager to claim its prize as its many legs crawled forward frantically.
I'm not dying in some forgotten abyss.
Elias said beneath his breath in frustration. He thrusted his pistol forward, pulling the trigger. The first shot landed as it obliterated the side of another Remorhés. But something came over him in that moment, an intense rush of adrenaline. He pulled the trigger again, but this time with a lust for blood in his eyes. Each of our heroes fought bravely and with tremendous force, but Gallivant continued to send wave after wave of Remorhés. No matter how many they defeated, it seemed as though the wave of enemies was never ending. Sylara saw only one way out of this mess.
Get behind me!
She raised her hands to her side as the wind began to pick up. As her friends gathered close, she used her warding winds to keep their enemies at bay for as long as she could maintain concentration. As each of the remaining Remorhés attacked, the thunderous sounds of steel and gunfire filled the air as they pushed back their enemy. As the dust settled, The scattered remains of the many Remorges littered the cobblestone town center.
Is everyone okay?
Well, I sure hope so, Gallivant said as he reappeared before them, only this time not alone. All right, wanderers, now comes the decision of the evening. You'll need to decide. Will you choose your treasures or your pets? Choose carefully. Gallivant was clearly filled with mischievous glee as both the treasures and their animals hovered beside him. Our hearers pondered carefully, all except for Rothaga. His mind was filled with rage. He was done playing Gallivant's games. Rothaga reached out to the voice within his mind.
Give me the power to end this. Give me the power to rid us of Gallivant.
Well, what's it going to... Hello? Who's there? A sudden dark smoke washed over Gallivant like a crashing wave. As the smoke cleared, Gallivant was no more. Rothaga's wish had been granted.
What? What just happened?
Elias's question would be answered in that moment. As they each looked upon the face of their friend, they witnessed flames erupt from him, revealing horns, skin like molten rock, and an eye that glowed red with immense power. Rothaga is learning that his power extends far beyond what he once thought to be possible.